What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Curry, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. Today, we've got a box that we don't see very often on this channel because if there's one thing that I take an L on the sneakers app, it's Nike SB Dunks or just Dunks in general. But today, we have a really interesting Nike Dunk SB that I was actually lucky enough to get a second chance on. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the shoe, its history, and how I was able to get exclusive access on these sneakers. So without further ado, let's get into it. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Nike Dunk SB by Medicom Bearbrick. Still can't really believe that I have these in my hand right now. Like, I didn't even believe when I got the got 'em screen. I didn't believe that I got them when I got the shipping confirmation. I was like, something's gonna go wrong with this. But here we are, and here they are. First impressions of this sneaker, very, very nice. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of the hair on sneakers, but because of the overall theming of the sneaker, it just makes sense. So I appreciate that when it comes to the storytelling. Let's take a little deeper look. All right, starting with the upper here. Now, it's a standard silhouette of an SB Dunk Low. SB, of course, you got that fat tongue there, not your average dunk, but really, really nice details when it comes to the materials. The first thing, of course, that's staring you right in the face is this black fur that is all over the shoe. Now, when I checked, usually on the inside of the shoe, if they used real fur, they'll have a little sticker inside of the shoe that tells you that this was sourced. Usually it's from bovine, which is cow fur. Now, on more expensive, like Jordan releases, they'll actually use real cow fur that's dyed to look like different animal prints. I don't think that they use real animal fur because there is no sticker inside of the shoe that actually says that they use animal fur, and I'm pretty sure that they have to put that down there if they did. So I think this is more of a faux fur. Some people call it a fox fur, whatever you want to call it, but whatever it is, it's not real animal hair. I'm pretty sure it's synthetic, but it still feels nice. Nevertheless, if it's not real bovine fur, that's fine, but of course it's made to feel like a bear. Keeping with that theming here, you have the traditional bear head on the lateral side on the heel, and of course inside of the bear head you have the @ symbol, which is the infamous @ symbol from the Bearbrick logo. Taking the top down, look at the shoe here, plain black laces. Again, same material all over the toe box, all over the top of the shoe, and on the tongue you also see that @ symbol for Bearbrick once again. I also like the lining on the inside of the sneaker as well. Feels like this really nice soft white leather. Really, really nice here. I like that touch. Speaking of laces here, you get two sets here, and actually I kind of like how they tied one set inside of the other. Small detail, but I like it. The laces actually offset one another. You get black with gold lace tips or white with silver lace tips. Personally, I think the black and gold is a little bit cleaner, but again, I'm partial to black and gold. On the hip of the shoe, you have this white hit of fur with the Nike stitched on the heel. Moving down from there, you get a regular white midsole. On the outsole of the shoe, you get a really nice flat gray SB outsole. Looks really nice against that black and that white. And on the insole, one of my favorite parts of the shoe, you have these little drawings of the different Bearbricks all over the insole against a white background. On the heel here, you see the Nike SB and Medicom Bearbrick co-branding. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Bearbrick Dunks. Now, let's dig a little bit into Medicom as a company, who they are, and their long-standing history with Nike. The Medicom toy company was founded in 1996 by a gentleman named Tatsuhiko Akashi. Now, the dope thing about the company is that he actually left a really good paying job, worked at a computer manufacturing business, to go and start his own company after going into a toy store one day and realizing that he'd rather play with toys than work in computer manufacturing. So, you know, had all of his priorities in order. I'm sure a lot of people were in favor of him leaving a really secure, stable job manufacturing computers to go and try to sell toys for a living. But nonetheless, he did it. So Akashi starts the Medicom company back in 96. He's starting to make some toys, and he realizes that one of the more interesting ways to get people to buy toys is to create hype by making mystery boxes. Now, in the mystery boxes, he had a couple of different types of toys that the company was working on, but one in particular, a lot of people seem to resonate with, and that was a toy that was called the Kubrick. The Kubrick was a small plastic toy with a little pot belly with some interesting looking arms and legs and a head that actually was named after Stanley Kubrick, the film director. If you don't know who Stanley Kubrick is, Stanley Kubrick directed movies like 2001: A Space Odyssey, Full Metal Jacket, and The Shining. If you're not familiar with any of those movies, don't worry about it, but you should watch The Shining because I personally think that's one of the most classic horror movies of all time, but that's just me. But getting back to the toys. So the Kubricks became so popular that the World Character Convention in Tokyo asked Akashi in 2001 if he would make a Kubrick that they could put in grab bags for all all of their attendees. That's thousands and thousands of Kubricks. He didn't have the means to do something like that, so he tried to basically cut a corner by putting a bear's head on top of the Kubrick body. Hence, the Bearbrick was born. Now, I don't need to go into detail about what the Bearbrick has meant to artists, the music industry, streetwear, and sneakers as a whole. You guys have seen Bearbricks collaborated with some of the biggest brands on earth. Of course, Medicom has a long-standing history with Nike. We'll talk about it in just a second, but we've seen Bearbricks for all kinds of different companies, boutiques. We even saw an OVO Bearbrick not that long ago. We've seen Bearbricks for everybody from Marvel to DC, different movies, television shows, anything you can possibly imagine has used that blank canvas and used their character licensing on a Bearbrick body. As you guys know, Bearbricks come in a variation of sizes, all the way up to a 1000%, which usually is about 2 to 3 feet tall, maybe a little bit taller than that. And some of those go for big money. And I mean tens of thousands, and in some cases of the ultra rare Bearbricks, $100,000 to $200,000. Bearbricks at this point are a phenomenon. Your favorite collector's favorite collector has a ton of Bearbricks in their personal collection. It's a collector's item, as I mentioned. It's an art piece. It's a bragging piece. It's an icebreaker. It's all of those things. And it's accessible by so many different kinds of people, and in a way relatable and translatable to so many different people with so many different kinds of pockets and socioeconomic standings. Anybody who's anybody can pretty much get their hands on a Bearbrick, even if it's just a little keychain version. And if there's one thing that people in the sneaker industry love, that collectors love, it's getting something that celebrities also have too. Now let's bring it back to sneakers. Nike and Medicom's relationship started back in 2002 when Medicom created some special Bearbricks for the first people that were on the Nike SB skateboarding team. Really dope designs. Now, a couple of years later, Nike gave them an opportunity to make an SB Dunk while keeping in with the skateboarding theme, and they came out with the first Medicom and Nike Dunk. It was a low top, white with a blue swoosh, I believe, a little bit of orange in there. They came out with that in 2004. Now, they followed that up in 2005 with a black Nike SB, a black denim Dunk, and honestly, I still think that's probably one of the best collaborations, this one included. That black denim Medicom Nike SB was really, really nice. But every time I look at prices on that sneaker, it reminds me of how poor I am. So let's continue talking about these. Now, in 2017, they also came out with this Dunk that was called the Dunk Elite. But I think that shoe kind of looked ridiculous because it looked like a low top Dunk with a sock on the top of it. And I don't know. It wasn't for me personally. If you guys like it, if you guys have it in your collection, sound off down below. Let me know. And that brings us to today, the newest collaboration with Medicom and Nike SB. And I think that they have some really, really dope things that are in the works for the future as well, both on the toy side and on the shoe side. Now, how did I get exclusive access to these? That's a fantastic question. So if you guys were lucky enough to get a second chance at these or to get these in the first place, you guys know that in the sneakers app these days, it's been really frustrating because it feels like no matter what you do, it's really, really difficult to get your hands on the product that you want. A lot of people have a lot of different ideas about what it takes to be able to get the product that you want. Do I have to spend a certain amount of money? Do I have to like certain things? Do I have to favorite certain things? If you guys remember, we did a video about sneakers tips and tricks, 10 tips and tricks. And even though a lot of those tips and tricks still reign true today, what I can say is that even following those tips and tricks, I found myself taking massive L's when it came to SB Dunks. I just couldn't get any of them. But Nike has been gracious enough these days to start implementing the exclusive access model on a lot of sneakers. And not only that, but the second chance model as well. So they did it recently with the Ben & Jerry's Nike SB Dunk, where they gave people a second opportunity to buy that sneaker if you took an L the first time. So Nike is taking inventory in the background of that app of everybody who tries and takes the L. Then they select random accounts of people who were not able to get through, and they give them access at a second chance to be able to get the sneaker. That's where it came in for me. I'm sitting at home one day around 6:30 at night, and I get this notification that pops into my phone that says, run it back. You have one more chance to be able to get your hands on the Medicom Bearbrick Nike Dunk tomorrow morning. Needless to say, I was all over it. Needless to say, the very moment that the clock struck 11 o'clock, for me, I'm in the central time zone, I was on it and I grabbed this sneaker in my size. So very, very, very thankful. This is probably the first Nike SB, especially the first hyped up Nike SB low that I've been able to get off the sneakers app in quite some time. So my advice to you guys is don't stop trying for that exclusive access for those sneakers that you want. It's fair game out here. Now, listen, I also want to tell you guys, I know a lot of you guys are frustrated with the sneakers app as well. I'm frustrated with it too. But remember, what Nike did was they pulled back a lot of their inventory because they took massive losses in recent history. So you guys are going to notice that it's getting a little bit more difficult. Try for different sizes and think about size swaps. If you're only going for your size and you wear somewhere around a size 8, 9, maybe a 10.5 or an 11. If you wear a popular size, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to get these sneakers. So my advice, you guys, play around with different sizes when it comes to trying to get different sneakers. You might see a little bit more success. But even if you don't, just remember Nike is taking inventory of people who are taking L's, and they are going to be giving people more exclusive access. They are going to be rolling out more second chances, especially on the hyped up product. So the way that I got access in a nutshell is I kept trying and I didn't give up. I know a lot of you guys are deleting your sneakers apps these days. Y'all don't want anything to do with the sneaker game, but listen guys, the game is the game. We're just here to play it, right? So what you got to do is to stay in the game. You got to be in it to win it. You got to keep trying, keep taking the L's, and keep checking yourself and reminding yourself that at the end of the day, it's just sneakers. It's just a pair of shoes. All right. So go outside, get some fresh air. If you take the L on a sneaker and go on about your day, because you never know when it might be your chance to get exclusive access on a sneaker as well. All right, guys, that's pretty much all that I got about these. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about the Medicom Bearbrick Nike SB Dunk Low. Were you able to get your hands on these? Are you trying to get your hands on a pair of these? And if so, are you willing to pay the resale price on them right now? Because I'm pretty sure these are going for at least a couple $100 more than they cost retail price. Or were these a hard pass for you? Are you not feeling the bear fur? Are you not a fan of Bearbrick and Medicom? Sound off down below. Let me know. Of course, while you're down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you, I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Nike SB Dunk Medicom Bearbrick for 2020. And until next time, I'm out.